Snow days, when they're necessary, are good.
They can be both fun and not fun.
They're cool, I guess. I mean, you get to hang out with your friends, not have to go to school, so I mean, that's pretty cool.
Once in a while, I think they're fun. I think, everybody looked forward to snow days when we were younger, and even teachers look forward to them once in a while, but the 10 that we've had this year has been a little
fun because you can sleep in more and you can play video games, but not fun because then you miss a lot of school and you can miss practice and valuable time in school.
When they're not necessary,
This has all been a whole new experience. I was told that this was the worst winter since like 1950, which I thought, of course, it would happen my first years. Why wouldn't that happen that way?
There was, I think, a day that the salt went out because the whole Tri-Cities, all this area, they ran out because it was so bad.
If at the end of the day the students and staff are safe, then it's been a successful day.
My name is Eloy Lara and I'm in 12th grade.
Dustin Lamb, Activities Director, Leadership Teacher.
My name is Ryan. I'm a senior here at Pasco High.
Randy Nunamaker, Executive Director of Operations for the Pasco School District.
And I'm Michelle Whitney. I'm the superintendent of the Pasco School District.
My name is Raul Sital. I'm the principal here at Pasco High School. I've been here for about 11 years, 12 years, somewhere in that area.
My name is Maria Camargo. I'm a senior here at Pasco High.
My name is Kim Schneider, and I'm a teacher at Pasco High School.
The snow has its purpose, right? So it's like it allows us to ski and allows us to be outside and do some of the fun things. So yes, I could say I like the snow.
I feel like a lot of the times that there was a cancellation, like it could have been just like a 2-hour delay because like the snow went away super quick or it wasn't ice anymore. But yeah, most of the time they're pretty necessary, I guess.
So there are times where by 10, 11, 12 o'clock, the roads don't look so bad. And those are always days that are a challenge. You think, man, could we've gotten kids to school? But if the roads aren't good at 7:30, we're not going to risk putting buses or the community on the road to get kids to school. It always feels empty when our kids are not in school.
It was demanding, very hard.
We had a lot of them. I wish we had a 3-hour delay built in. I think if we had a 3-hour delay in our school system, a lot of the ones that we ended up canceling, we could have had half days.
There are some days where we have horrible weather here in the Tri-Cities, especially this year.
Well, the 2-hour delays are a safety piece of what we do.
You can still have you have more time to sleep and get more energy, but you also don't miss any learning.
That could have given me time to go to class and at least get some work done and get help also by my teacher.
If you are in a 2-hour delays because the roads and conditions or the weather is not safe. School cancellation is because it's a major issue with safety. And how I feel is like I feel for safety on a regular day. If you have to cancel school for a safety issue, then you cancel school.
There's pros and cons to it, I guess.
It keeps us safe.
You don't want anyone getting hurt or anything, any people crashing on the way here.
For the safety of the kids.
So the pros are people are safe. If the roads are treacherous, then canceling school means that our kids and staff and community are not out on the roads where they could potentially get injured. So that, in my mind, is the pro, right? Kids are home, people are home where it's safe, and we can make decisions about when those days will be made up. And they're typically, this year's a little bit different, but typically those snow days are made up in June. Well, the weather's always nice in June, so no risk in coming to school in June.
And a con is you miss learning, or you miss like if you have rehearsal for music programs and you have a concert coming up, or your concert can get canceled.
Well, anytime you disrupt time, time from learning, yes, it affects you. It affects the learning because it has to be.
Made good calls so far this year. Yeah, it's annoying, but I mean, we don't get winters like this very often, so it's not like it's an every year thing.
Well, and I think some of the cons are, and I guess I would say it's kind of a continuity of services that we provide to the students and for the staff. And when you have breaks in that continuity, not just in the educational process and the programs that the teachers and the curriculum that they're trying to follow, but even for some students that can be getting a hot meal that day, getting breakfast. So there's many areas that break down. Once that continuity breaks down, all those things then have a gap for that day. And transportation, you know, it's parents have challenges. Sometimes it's babysitters. It reaches even beyond the district, some of the cons in that case. So yeah, they're numerous.
When they add days towards the end of school, those are less productive than normal days that they're canceling right now. So that'd be a con, less education. So
I'm a little bit involved if I see something that's different, that we need to do something. I do make a call and hey, we need to solve some problems over because the weather is not well and we need to add this to the day or that to the day. So I am involved somewhat, but not on calling it because I don't drive.
You have to go out and drive around in it to make that call. You can't, unless you're out in it, you don't honestly know what it's like. And I guess one of the main complaints that I hear and see over Facebook is, oh, the main roads are fine. Well, it's not the main roads that we're worried about. You know, you walk down or drive down all those side streets and they're crap. Sorry, can I say that? You know, they're crap.
I remember me and my best friend Daisy Garcia actually emailed Michelle Whitney, who's the
superintendent.
Probably Miss Whitney.
I think the board will make that final decision, yeah, and I think they have actually. I am pleased to say that they are seeking a waiver. So it looks like maybe the 16th of June, if everything goes well, we'll get out of school.
Michelle Whitney being one of those people.
She makes the final say.
My role in the process, I wait very patiently for Randy's update in terms of what his team has found, and then I coordinate and communicate with area superintendents. So I'm communicating back and forth with Dave Bond and Dr. Rick Schulte, both from Kennewick and Richland.
Do you want to be safe or do you want to be sorry? And what's more important?
If the streets were kind of slippery, then yeah, cancel school.
Well, the first thing that happens is the weather applications are checked to see what kind of weather's coming in. Then at about 2:30 in the morning, the transportation supervisor then will get up and they'll start driving the roads.
But at least we have professionals that go and check the roads. People don't stay home and say, oh, it looks bad. People actually have a process, and it's very intensive.
And they drive different sections of the Pasco School District's boundaries to see what the road conditions are like. Can they brake in time for a car that stops in front of them? The other thing that's considered along with that is the temperature and the cold weather. That's going to affect students possibly waiting for a bus and standing out in the cold.
Or if you're a walker, they walk that to see is it safe to walk. Because in some of the days, the sidewalks weren't clean and students had to walk on the street.
All those items are taken into consideration, and generally speaking, we need to make a decision on what we need to do by about 5:30. So really about 4 o'clock to 4:30 in the morning, the first call comes in to me, and I have that conversation with the transportation supervisor about what the roads are like, what kind of conditions are. We talk about possible recommendations as far as going ahead with school, of course, or doing a 2-hour delay, or does it look like it's not going to get any better and there needs to be a cancellation. Once we have that discussion, then I'll go ahead and then that's when I make my telephone call to the superintendent, Michelle Whitney.
There's always the option, I think, as a parent, if you feel that there's any kind of danger, you know, you can keep your kids at home based on where you live.
And we like to be coordinated amongst the 3 districts when we can, because some of our teachers live in Kennewick. We have buses, Pasco buses, that go between the 3 cities as well for picking up kids in a variety of different programs. So the extent to which the 3 cities can be coordinated in our response, I think, is a huge benefit to the community.
They're trying to do the best for everybody.
So it's an entire community-wide effort in keeping our community safe during times when road conditions are hazardous.
I would say
Thanks for keeping us safe.
Keep canceling school.
listen to your community. Sometimes they know what's best.
To take in consideration of our grades, because a lot of people that I know failed their first semesters.
Just to maybe review the process and again, see if we could possibly look at like a 3-hour delay, because I did the math and it's almost like an early release day, you know, and we'd be able to count those and still get to school safely, hopefully.
Safety is more important than anything else. So we have to treat safety as number one.
So when we can get kids to school safely, that's where we want our kids, is in school. We believe that 180 days of school is important, that the content we're delivering is important, and so when school's in session, we want them in school with us learning. That being said, if it's not safe getting them there, then we do what's safe for them.
You have to consider the safety of every single student here. So you can't play with people's lives. It's like, if you already know it's dangerous, why am I going to risk people's lives?
I just want to express my gratitude to the community as a whole. People were very gracious and patient and flexible in what I refer to as like the most challenging winter since 1950. You know, people would ask questions about the process, and when given information, were very supportive of the school district and recognize that really what we're trying to do is to keep people safe. And it is a hardship on families when they're scrambling in the morning to find daycare on mornings where they had anticipated sending kids to school. I just want to express my gratitude for people's just patience and flexibility and really grace and understanding through a very challenging winter season.